Good evening and welcome to the April 22nd, 2026 meeting of the Lower Merion Board of Commissioners. We have 3 meetings this evening, a Police Committee meeting, a Legal Affairs Committee meeting, and a Board of Commissioners meeting. Before we start, please silence your cell phones. There's amplifying equipment available for those who are having difficulty hearing. This room is also equipped with telecoil technology. And later, when the floor is open for public comment, comment will first be taken from those who are here physically present in the room. We will then turn to those who are attending virtually. We ask that all speakers introduce themselves before beginning their comments. With that, we'll turn to our first committee meeting for this evening. It's the Police Committee. I recognize its chair, Commissioner Rossman.
Thank you, President Salmon. We have one item on the agenda, authorization of disciplinary action for police officers. There's a motion to recommend to the Board of Commissioners approval 1-day suspensions for 2 police officers as recommended by Superintendent of Police for vehicles crashes which occurred on February 22nd, 2026 and March 3rd, 2026. May I have a second, please? Thank you, Commissioner Wynne. I'd like to call on Superintendent Block for an explanation.
Good evening, Dr. Wilson and Board of Commissioners. Thank you for having me here this evening. There's 2 matters here that's before the board for the disciplinary action. One was a crash that occurred on February 22nd, 2026, where the officer was not using their emergency warning devices and struck another vehicle. And as a result of that, my recommendation would be for one 8-hour day suspension. The second incident occurred on March 3rd, where the officer was responding to an incident in the Glowen section of the township, where he struck a pedestrian signboard in the middle of the roadway. As a result of that, I'd make the recommendation as well that that officer receive 1-day suspension and an 8-hour suspension.
Thank you. I'd like to open the floor for public comment. Is there public comment in the room? On Zoom?
No one has their hand raised.
What?
No one has their hand raised.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the board? I would like to call for a vote. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? It has passed unanimously. Secretary Kelly, thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Rossman. Our next committee meeting for this evening is the Legal Affairs Committee, and I recognize its chair, Commissioner Bernheim.
Thank you very much, President Stein. We have one item that's on the agenda for this evening, and that is to confirm the execution of a settlement agreement with some Centennial property road owners. The brief background of the matter that's been ongoing for a number of years is that there was litigation focused upon responsibilities for construction and maintenance of a 60-inch corrugated metal storm sewer pipe, which had some difficulties with the creek underneath and some of the problems that were created on Centennial Road. The property owners had certain responsibilities for its repair, and indeed did do some of the repair themselves, but there was also some work that the township did, which cost about $236,000. The litigation questioned whether the township did or did not do certain things properly, and to what extent the homeowners were responsible. During the course of this time, several of the homeowners sold the property, and there were new people involved. And that was something that, weighed into our consideration of somewhat of a concept of fairness. With the great leadership of our solicitor, we were able to reach a settlement of $100,000, which is in agreement, which is then, before us this evening. So that, with that background, would move to consider for recommendation the Board of Commissioners authorizing execution of a settlement agreement with Centennial Road property owners involving a stormwater collection system repair. And thank you, Commissioner Rossman, for seconding that. Are there any questions or comments from members of the board? Anybody on Zoom have their hand raised now? No? All right. So with that, then we'll call the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand for aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, no abstentions. And that passes, what's that word, unanimously? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Bernheim. Will the April 22nd, 2026 meeting of the Lower Merion Board of Commissioners please come to order and all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Daly may join us later. Mr. Bernheim.
Present.
Mr. Courtney.
Here.
Ms. Epstein.
Here.
Mr. Gregory.
Here.
Ms. Kramer.
Here.
Ms. McGuire.
Here.
Dr. Rossman.
Here.
Ms. Sparrow.
Here.
Mr. Timberlake.
Here.
Mr. Whalen.
Here.
Mr. Woodring.
Here.
Mr. Zello.
Here.
Mr. Sinai.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of a special meeting of the Board of Commissioners held on March 11th, 2026, and a stated meeting held on March 18th, 2026, as distributed. Do I have a second? Thank you, Vice President Woodring. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Abstentions? Madam Secretary, that carries unanimously. A few announcements. The board met in executive session on April 8th and earlier this evening regarding the following matters: litigation regarding real estate taxes and other various complaints, a staff update on the conditional use process, police personnel matters, a staff update on potential zoning amendments, billboard litigation, transfer tax appeal, and some storm sewer litigation. An Arbor Day ceremony will be held on Friday, April 24th, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. at Marion Elementary School. A cleanup weekend is being held on Saturday, April 25th and Sunday, April 26th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. each day at the Township's Public Works Complex. Residents will be charged $20 cash or credit per vehicle for each entry when disposing of refuse. There is no charge to drop off donations and recycling, and payments will be collected at the gate and proof of residency is required. Recycling must be separated from refuse and no household hazardous waste will be accepted. The Go for the Green Home Sustainability Fair and Awards event will be held on Saturday, May 9th, 2026 from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at Ludington Library. And Dog Walker Watch training will be held on Tuesday, May 12th at 7 p.m. at the Ardmore Firehouse at 35 Greenfield Avenue in Ardmore. Registration information can be found at https://lmcommunitywatch.org. We now have a proclamation. I'd like to recognize our Chair of the Governance Administration Committee, Commissioner Epstein, to read the public service recognition proclamation.
Thank you, President Sinai. We have a proclamation for public service recognition in 2026. Whereas Americans are served every day by public servants at the federal, state, county, and municipal levels, and these individuals do the work that keeps our nation operating. And whereas public employees serve in many different capacities within our municipality and provide the residents of Lower Merion Township with many services contributing to the excellent quality of life in Lower Merion. And whereas the Board of Commissioners recognizes the efforts of our various municipal professionals who on a daily basis take pride in their responsibilities to our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Board of Commissioners, join with the nation in recognizing the week of May 3rd through 9th, 2026 as Public Service Recognition Week, and call upon our citizens to commend the hard work and dedication of our township employees. And be it further resolved that we, the members of the Board of Commissioners, recognize the week of May 10th through 16th, 2026 as National Police Week, and encourage Lower Merion residents to acknowledge the selfless service provided by our law enforcement officers. And be it further resolved that we, the members of the Board of Commissioners, also declare the week of May 17th through 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens to recognize the vital contributions made to our community by our public works personnel. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Epstein. We're now at public privilege of the floor. This is a section of our meeting where members of the public may address the board on any non-agenda items or any other public matters in which the township has jurisdiction or authority. If you'd like to address the board, we're going to ask that you use this podium to your left. And if you are on Zoom and wish to address the board, we're going to ask that you raise your virtual hand now. We will call on you when the people in the room are done speaking, but we need you to raise your virtual hand now. At the beginning of your comments, state your name and where in the township you live prior to beginning your comments. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. The township secretary has a timer. It beeps very loudly at the end of 3 minutes. It does not stop beeping. That will be the sign. Anyone wish to take advantage of public privilege?
I hear it. Craig Ollender, Marion Station. This is a 4-part comment to be delivered over the next several months. Like any good story, there's a structured plot with an introduction, rising action, climax, and denouement. Tonight is the setup. My dad attended Central High School, and while on the track team 80 years ago this spring, he set a record in the low hurdles, a record that stands to this day, mostly because the meet was discontinued after that season, so no one had the opportunity to beat his time. I also ran track, although I was not fast. My event was the high hurdles. I never won, but I always finished the race. And that's relevant when considering Lower Merin's urban forest. The Bartlett Tree Canopy Report identified 2 problems. First, there were sizable disparities. For instance, East and West Ardmore and Bala had tree cover only half as much as the most shaded sections of the township. Second, 6 communities showed canopy decline. The 4 greatest drops were Bala, Belmont Hills, Kinwood, and Merriam Station. No area exhibited a statistically significant increase. I identified a third issue. Large numbers of trees were planted in neighborhoods with extensive canopy, and few went to districts with little. In 2025, Wynwood, Gladwin, and Penn Valley, among the most canopied parts of the township, received more than half the 200 trees. Bala, Kinwood, Belmont Hills, and College Park combined, with a percent tree cover 15 points below average, obtained just 22 trees. 24 trees fewer than Wynwood alone. The board's decision to make canopy a priority provides an opportunity to build upon one of the township's greatest assets, its trees. There are 3 elements: private property trees, park trees, and shade trees. Each component requires its own specific strategy, but there is one similarity. Restoring tree cover involves planting many more trees. I've been advocating for shade trees, those that line the streets in the right-of-way. Township leadership has identified 3 high hurdles to planting a large number of shade trees: resident apathy, a manpower shortage, and a lack of capital. Over the next 3 months, I will afford a solution for each issue, providing a straightforward and easy path to increase the number of shade tree plantings. And together, we'll finish the race.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to take advantage of public privilege? Okay, seeing none. Jody, is there anyone online?
So I know that Adrienne Seltzer is trying to join, but she's not on there yet. But she does have something to say. So maybe when we get to public comment, then she'll be on and she can talk about it.
Does any board member wish to respond to any of the comments? Okay, seeing none, we're going to turn to public comment. Excuse me. This is the section of our meeting where members of the public may address the board on all agenda items. Same ground rules. We ask that you use this podium to your left. If you're on Zoom, we ask that you raise your virtual hand now. And again, state your name and where you live in the township prior to beginning your comments. Anyone wish to take advantage of public comment? Okay, seeing no one in the room. Jody, anyone online?
No, she's still not on.
Okay.
So
Okay. There will be no response to public comment. We are going to turn to the consent calendar. Pages 4 through 13 on your packet. Would anyone like to remove anything from consent? Okay. So I'm going to move that we approve the consent calendar as presented, and including the items from the Police Committee and Legal Affairs Committee meetings held earlier in the evening. And I believe that calls for a roll call vote. Thank you, Commissioner Whalen, for the second. We needed that before the vote. Yeah.
Thank you. For the consent calendar, Mr. Bernheim.
Aye.
Mr. Courtney.
Yes.
Ms. Epstein.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes.
Ms. Kramer.
Yes.
Ms. McGuire. Dr. Rossman.
Aye.
Ms. Sparrow.
Yes.
Mr. Timberlake.
Yes.
Mr. Whalen.
Yes.
Mr. Woodring.
Yes.
Mr. Zella.
Aye.
Mr. Sinai.
Yes.
The consent calendar is duly adopted.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So we now turn to page 16 of your packet, which is the award of contract for bond counsel services. So I'm going to move that we approve the award of a contract for bond counsel services to Dilworth Paxton LLP as recommended by the Finance Committee. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Rossman. Any questions for staff or comments from my colleagues? Okay, seeing none. I guess all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Abstentions? Madam Secretary, that is 11 to 2?
Correct.
Okay. And that passes. We are now on to page 19 of your packet, which is the award of contract for the rebid for the Penn Wynne Library Photovoltaic project. I'm going to move that we approve award of contracts for the Penn Wynne Library Photovoltaic project received on Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 at 11 a.m. prevailing time, and the recommendation of the Finance Committee to the following bidders. Madam Secretary, do I have to read all of this, or can I just say Carport Construction for another $197,817.06, Electrical Construction for $239,225.84, and Roof Construction for $56,253 and no cents. Do I have a second? Thank you very much, Commissioner Courtney. Any questions for staff or comments from the board? Commissioner Courtney.
Thank you, President Sinai. I wanted to thank our Sustainability Manager, Paloma Villa, and my colleagues who vice chair the Sustainability Committee for working through this with me this week. 2 weeks ago, I was somewhat disappointed that the majority of the board felt we should go with option A as opposed to option B, where we would have the solar panels put on the newly replaced roof. In re-reviewing the numbers and listening to everyone's thoughts on this, I think we are making the right choice now by going with phase A, or option A. And I would just encourage everyone to remember this moment when another sustainability cost comes up that we just saved $500,000. Thank you, President Sinai.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Courtney. Commissioner Kramer.
I want to concur in Commissioner Courtney's praise of our sustainability manager, Paloma Villa, and also remind everyone that when we're ranking priorities, there will be a proposed solar project to rank, and we hope that you will place it very high on your priorities in light of the fact that we're saving $500,000 on this project.
Thank you, Commissioner Kramer. Any other comments from my colleagues? Okay, seeing none, then we're going to call that for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Abstentions? Madam Secretary, that carries unanimously. So we are now on to page 31 of your packet, which is the adoption of an ordinance, Chapter 145, Vehicles and Traffic, Rittenhouse Place Parking Time Limit Increase. And so this is an ordinance to amend the Code of the Township of Lower Merion, Chapter 145 thereof, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Article 15, Schedules 145, 122, Schedule 22, on-highway parking meter zones by establishing a 3-hour parking limitation between the hours of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday on both sides of Rittenhouse Place, with exception. This ordinance was authorized for advertisement to the stated meeting of the Board of Commissioners held March 18th, 2026, and duly advertised in the April 12th, 2026 edition of the Mainline Times and Suburban. So I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 4333. Do I have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Timberlake. Any questions for staff or comments from my colleagues? Okay, seeing none. I believe that calls for a roll call vote. Madam Secretary.
For the adoption of ordinance 4333. Mr. Bernheim.
Aye.
Mr. Courtney.
Yes.
Ms. Epstein.
Yes.
Mr. Gregory. Ms. Kramer.
Yes.
Ms. McGuire. Dr. Rossman.
Aye.
Ms. Sparrow.
Yes.
Mr. Timberlake.
Yes.
Mr. Whalen.
Yes.
Mr. Woodring.
Yes.
Mr. Zellow.
Aye.
Mr. Sinai.
Yes.
The ordinance is duly adopted.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Is there any unfinished business come before the board? Okay. I know there is some new business to come before the board, so I recognize Commissioner Gilda Kramer.
Thank you. I am proud to share that earlier today, Lower Merion Township received the 2026 Governor's Award for Local Government Excellence in Innovative Planning and Sound Land Use Practices for the Ardmore House 2 Senior Affordable Housing Project. Each year, the Governor's Awards recognize local governments that have found creative ways to improve their communities. This award recognizes Lower Merion's commitment to thoughtful land use planning as a means to expand affordable housing opportunities for residents by building 48 units of housing for low-income seniors on an underutilized township parking lot. We extend our sincere thanks to our dedicated staff who worked tirelessly on this project, the county and the Commonwealth who helped fund the project, our nonprofit partners Genesis and Human Good, and community stakeholders whose hard work and collaboration made this achievement possible. We hope that Ardmore House 2 will be a model for communities across the Commonwealth. Ardmore House 2 will not only provide housing and improve the lives of low-income seniors today, but for decades to come. When a community has a desire to care for its less fortunate residents and the political will to do so, innovative projects like Ardmore House 2 become realities.
Thank you, Commissioner Kramer. And are we allowed to do a little round of applause for that? I'm very happy for that. Well, with that, we are done for this evening. This meeting is hereby adjourned. So, colleagues, we will go back to the caucus room.